Hi, and thanks for dropping by for today's episode of Tommy's Trains. I got a big box here that came in, and these are all going to be some items that will probably be flipped for the most part, but let's take a look and see what we got. Alright, so the first item we have is a fast track. This is the outer passing loop. So your normal fast track would just be this oval right here, and then this has two switches and the extra curves and straights. And if you look on the back, it will show you what the extra pieces are. 5 straights, 2 switches, 2 more curves, and then some quarter curves or 1/3 curves. So keep your eyes open. You can find this stuff really cheap. And then if you're like me, you can flip it and make a few bucks back on it. These are lighted bumpers. So normally what you would see are just the earthen bumpers. These are one step up, and there's a little LED red light that's illuminated. So it also helps show you that you've got track power. So that's a neat little thing to have. Back in the early to mid 2000s, these were kind of a big thing. You could find these quite a bit. What we've got here is a couple expansion packs, and these are used also. But in the original box and complete, they will bring in a couple dollars more than you paid for it, usually. I say a couple, I mean a few. It makes it worthwhile. So you can see the box here is in really good shape. And we've got the original boxes. Now this here's the Holiday Tradition Special. So you can see that this would have been the original train with the 442 locomotive. And I believe this tender played Christmas music. And you had a gondola with an elf. They were chasing each other. You had a Christmas boxcar and a caboose. So these are great to find in the boxes.
Panels had several different Christmas/traditional holiday Christmas train sets over the last 20 years or so, starting with this one as far back as I can remember. This was the Holiday Tradition Special, which was just a conventional train, and then they had obviously this Kraft Nabisco holiday set. So here's the Tradition train. You can see there's like the elves running around, and this is the expansion I've got here. They also had the North Pole Central, which was different, and you can see that it's mostly the same, but there's a searchlight car, there's a passenger set that you could get with the presents. Pretty nice little rig, but all pretty much the same thing. And so they've got these 3 different sets right here, or expansion packs that you could have added on, in addition to like the Mickey and all the other Christmas ones, including Polar Express.
So the dividing boxes here. Those dividers are there. So it comes with some cars, and we've got the instructions here. Now some of these sets came with extra track, and this one did. It came with doesn't say how many, but first thing we got here is something that's kind of cool. It's kind of like a twofer. You've got a flat car with an operating hand car on it. We'll try these out here in a few minutes. So you can see there's Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus, and they're each taking turns with a hand car. Well, this hand car can come off this flat car, you put it on the track, and then it's its own entity. This here is the reindeer car. So it has operating couplers, and we'll take, like I said, we'll get this out here in a few minutes, but the reindeer will bob their heads in and out of the windows, kind of like the old stock cars did. And then here we've got Santa's workshop. This here is an operating track, so it's very similar to the old tubular tracks. What it does is there's a little magnet here. It's electromagnet, so when you push the control button, it pulls the plunger down on the car and makes it operate. So we'll pull that out here in a little bit. And then the final thing we have, also kind of cool to find. They had, all the starter sets had, to my knowledge, they had some sort of an expansion pack, and this one is no exception. So this was the Northwest Special Freight Set. So the Northwest Special was, looks like a GP38 locomotive. It had a boxcar, coal car or hopper, a searchlight car, and a caboose. So these are the extra parts and pieces.
Over the years, Lionel has put out several different versions of the Northwest Special, including the Express. It had different cars, different configurations, and there were obviously the expansion packs that went along with it. One was a small switch engine, and the other one was a GP38. You can see that this expansion set is a little bit different than the one that is on some of these boxes.
This right here is the log dump. So there's a log dump car with the dump. Uncoupling track. Here we've got a gondola with some canisters. Bunch of straight track, some curves. Interesting. You don't usually see curves come with the expansion sets. So we got curves and straights, and we've got the operating or the uncoupling track is a 5-inch track, and then it has a 5-inch dummy or just a 5-inch filler track, so it equals a 10-inch track. So all these pieces also kind of cool. So we'll put these together here in a couple minutes and show you. Also Canadian Pacific tank car, and then this looks like a Peterbilt. This is pretty much a common sight with the Lionel trucks or the Lionel sets, was this red one. They did have some other ones. They had box cars box trucks and tankers too, but that's pretty much the most common one. So like I said, we'll go ahead and hook this up into some other stuff and see how it works. A little winter hobby of mine has just been buying and selling trains. So, seeing as how I'm retired from the military, this gives me something to do. It's kind of nice out today, but it has been pretty cold, so. So what we have here is a set from 2002 is when this one came out. You can still see this on Lionel's website. I'll put that picture up here for you to see it. But this is the Ballyhoo Brothers train. So Ballyhoo is just a fictional name that Lionel came up with for this train set. And this box is in really nice shape, so you can see all the colors. And so this has a Hudson locomotive, and that's one of their deluxe locomotives. You don't see that one very often, and when it does come out, it's usually got a pretty good price tag on it. So we'll take a look at this box here. Inside, this box is brand new. This is all brand new, and I got it for a steal. All the paperwork is still here. Liquid smoke. Your lock on, and then your little button here for the operating car. All these little boxes are still here. So really nice to see all that. I think this one's just a filler. So is that one. So this tube track is Lionel's old track that they were using since like 1900. And you can see that this has still got the original wrappers on it, so not even used. And we'll look at the rails here, and these are shiny and brand new. They have not been run. Finding one of these in this kind of shape is pretty hard to do. Guessing this box is the transformer by the looks of it. So Ballyhoo Brothers Circus Lionel Train was built in 2001 and released in 2002, and I don't think it was a very long run as far as how many years it was offered. It does come with a larger track than normally you would get with a basic train. Looks like there's like probably 2 extra straight sections in there. So you can see it's a Hudson 464. There's our Lion Tamer car, the Pachyderm car, the bobbing clown car, lighted caboose. So each one of the cars on the train has some sort of animation with it, including the tender. So bobbing clown. It's all in the original packaging, still wrapped up with the cords. Instruction sheets for the transformer are all there. Again, these are just filler boxes. That's kind of neat to still have those. All right. So I'm going to take these boxes out and set the main box to the side. This is really cool that all the fillers are still in it. Very hard to find that now, especially something that's 22 years old. All right. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to throw this loop together, and then we'll put the cars down and run them, and I'll demonstrate everything for you. Take a look at our train and put it together. The first thing we'll pull out is the steam locomotive, and it's all in the original packaging. The Lionel bags with the little ribbons. It's all just like it came from the factory. So this is a Hudson 464. It's a beautiful train, and we'll take a look at this here in a second, a little closer. It's heavy. It's a heavy train. All the trucks are die cast. The wheels are die cast. So it's all metal. The tender also still in its original packaging with the ribbons. Lionel, got a little train on the blue. Kind of cool. The moisture things. So Ballyhoo Brothers, all die-cast metal. Operating coupler on the back. It does have a backup light, but it's non-functional. So I'll pour a little bit in, right down the stack. Alright. So the first car we have, still in the original bag here. Foreman pachyderms. So this one's based on the poultry car, where they sweep the poultry dust out, or manure. So same idea for that. This one's the Lion Tamer car. So when this one runs, the Lion will chase the Lion Tamer around, and this is a pretty heavy car too. It's all cast iron trucks, operating couplers. Alright, we've got this all set up, going. I went out to the shop and made a little wire to run the uncoupler, or the operating part there, so everything should be good to go. So you can see all the nice detailing on it. There's a dummy coupler that doesn't work, but it's there. Grab irons down the side, steam dome, SAM dome, whistle, bell, and the way the smoke works is like I showed you, just dump the fluid in there. So there's your cylinders, your drive rods, and it's kind of hard to pick up with the camera, but there's a nice there's your water hatch. Die cast brake wheel. There's your clown. There's your pachyderm car. Again, opening doors. Operating couplers, die cast trucks on all of it. Die cast wheels. Nice Circus colors. So there's your crate load, and that's got the mechanism that operates. And here's your Lion chasing the Tamer, and as the train goes around, you'll see them going around after each other. You see it's got a light on in there. The ladders and everything on the end are plastic, but it's got a different color roof on it. A lot of times there's the same color as the body. Die cast, operating couplers, separately applied smokestack, and then there's my North Pole right there. folks, there you have it. The Ballyhoo Brothers Circus Train, and I put out a couple of the Christmas cars, the Santa, Mrs. Claus hand car, and the dump car from the Northern Pacific train set. So we showed you those things. I think it's a great little train, and I'm really happy to have it, and I appreciate you watching. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.